Hi, I'm Dev-Lanna and I'm coding a cookie clicker game. This is an ongoing series and this is episode 3 of that series. I've already added the cookie to the game, I've set up inventory, and I've added the oven to the game. So today I would be adding the customers and I'm very excited to do this. The first thing I'm gonna need to work on is spawning the customers. And I think I have to think about how I'm gonna do that. The first step for sure I know is to create 3 spots that the customers can go to when they get spawned. And then I have to create another spot that actually spawns the customers and then moves them to one of those 3 spots. I don't even have the slightest clue on how I'm gonna start this, and I'm trying not to use ChatGPT as much as possible. I've already made the customer an area today because I have to move her from one side of the screen to another side of the screen, but I also need to click her. And I was thinking, should I just make her a character body today and then like place a button over her? I've typed in how do I make a click of a moving character in Godot, and they're basically just showing me how to make a character move to an area that you clicked. That's not what I'm looking for, but that's all that's showing up. Okay, so I just found out that in the character body 2D node, I can actually go to the input setting and select pickable or enable pickable, and that way the character can detect whether a mouse is on it or leaving it or clicking on it. So I don't think I need an area 2D. So I'm gonna change my area 2D to a character body 2D and see if that works. I'm gonna have to look up how to actually use the code to do that because I've never done this before, so I wouldn't know how to, like, what is the name of the method that I need to use to make it register clicks. But that's thinking too far ahead anyways. I'm just gonna change the character body 2D for now, and then I'm gonna set up the spots. Okay, so I've added 5 of the customers to see how many I can actually fit at the counter. I can fit 5. I also have some marker to these right in the middle of their chest. The way I know how this is supposed to be at that spot is because the anchor for the customer seems to be there. I'm going to actually delete all of them now. And I've left all of the markers there. Now I actually have to create another spot, another marker to be the spawn spot, but I have to put it outside of the game. Now that I'm done setting up the spots, I can mark that off of my to-do list, and I need to give the spots their own information. I think I have to give it a script. This sounds like I need to use a resource, but I don't know how. And this is the part where ChatGPT would be able to help me, like, figure out, like, do I use a resource? Do I add a script on these spots? I have to use my own brain. Okay, let's think about it. Let me think about it for a second. Here's the game plan. I have all the spots in a node 2D called spots, and I'm gonna add a script on it. Now that I've added a script on it, what do I do? That's a good question, Dev-Lanna. Let's think about that for a second. Okay, what was I thinking about? I forgot. I already forgot, but it'll come to me. I like organizing in code. It's one of my favorite things to do. I like to make comments that tells me where each part of my code is. So my variables have their own spot, signals have their own spot, main functions have their own spot. But the thing is, every time I make a new script, I have to copy these comments and paste them into the new script or type them myself. And it's very annoying to have to do that over and over and over again. Just to help me out a little bit, I'll just go to global and I'll add all the different comments that I know I usually use to label all the different sections of my code. And I'll just leave them there, and then whenever I need to use them, I'll just copy and paste them. After that segue, let's move on to the important stuff. We're actually going to create an array, and that array is going to be holding dictionaries of each of the spots. After that last clip, I proceeded to try to code the customer's walk-in. One specific customer, and she was very rude. She came in, she gave seizures, she wouldn't leave. I had to call the authorities, and the authorities didn't come because I would have to code that, and I don't know how to do that. So I was having a bit of a dilemma. I was trying to show you that, but unfortunately the way I was trying to record it was not successful. I do have a clip of trying to spawn multiple customers. Two of them at this point were coming into my establishment and throwing seizures. And I would like to have you know that it was before ordering any cookies. My product was not the problem. I did ask ChatGPT what to do. I did. I can't do it by myself. I don't want to have to do the research. I don't want to have to put in the time. The first mistake I made was changing the customer from a area 2D to a character body 2D and trying to move the customer using move and slide. So I'm going to put it back. I'm going to make it an area 2D and I'm going to try to practice or learn how to do tweens, because I have to use tweens to move the character from one space to another, and I don't want ChatGPT to do that for me. Don't assume that I'm against using AI for help or against AI in general. It's just that at this beginner stage of learning, I'd like to practice and build my critical thinking and problem solving skills. I'm afraid that if I'm always depending on being spoon-fed with quick answers, I'll develop a habit of being impatient and always expecting quick fixes and never really learning how to become resourceful. I think it's important that personally I have these skills, because thinking through and figuring out how to make things happen is actually the fun part of coding for me. So it's not that I hate AI, it's just that I don't want to have it as a crutch. I'm wondering, does this return the first spot that is unoccupied, or does it return all unoccupied spots? My customers are spawning, which is a good thing, but I don't know why all of them are spawning, which is a bad thing. I've read it through and I don't think I understand enough of GDScript or coding or programming in general to figure out like why they're spawning multiple times. I think the way it's set up, it should be just one of them coming in. Guess who I'm gonna ask for the solution? We don't have to say the name out loud. We know who it is. I usually like to keep all my conversation on one specific topic in one chat, but that slows down the answering process because I think it usually has to go back over its past conversation to try to answer my present question, or at least I think that's what it does. But it slows down the chat significantly. Nothing in my spawner is creating multiple customers. Something is telling me that it's probably the timer. Maybe it doesn't stop. One shot is not on. And I think that was actually the problem. Yes, it was not the problem. Two customers are spawning. So I guess it was part of the problem. Let's check main script. So the main script, once it is ready, it sets up the inventory, it sets up the cookies, it sets up the ovens, and then it tells the customer spawner to spawn a customer. I don't think there's anything else in this script that handles the customers spawning. So I think the rest of the problem is gonna have to be in the customer spawner script. So when I'm ready, I start the spawn timer, and once the timer is out, I spawn a customer. I'm very confused. Nothing here is telling me that two customers should be coming in. I'm gonna upload my script, my main script, to ChatGPT again once it stops stripping out. And I'm gonna ask it why are two customers coming in. You see, this is the problem with using AI for help. Because if I had just taken the time to slow down and really read my code, I would have figured out what the issue was. I need to start using my brain. Let me tell you what it was. As I showed you before and casually skipped over, my main script is calling spawn customer. What does spawn customer do? It spawns a customer, but also when my customer spawner is loaded into the game, it also spawns a customer. I think what I need to do, I actually don't know what I need to do. Oh yes, I do know what I need to do. So instead of having a ready function, I'm just going to start the timer when main actually tells me to spawn a customer. There she goes. I think now I want to animate her little bounce in motion, and I don't know if I want to do that with animation or if I want to do that with tween. I think I want to do it with tween. Tween seems a little bit fun now that I've learned how to do it. And I'm pretty sure if I tried to do it with animation, it wouldn't be smooth anyways. So. There she goes. Now she actually looks like she's walking in. Now I'm gonna have all the customers come in and see if they will also look like they're walking in. The way I decided to do this was to create a loop that went through all of the spots. That way, if I later decided to add more spots or delete some of the spots, this code would still work. What it does is it starts the customer spawner's timer, and then it waits for the timer to time out, and when it times out, it just continues the loop. Arrays don't have lengths. I like JavaScript, they have size. Trying to assign value of type callable to a variable of type int. I don't know what that means. I'm very confused right now. I have a simpler way to get this done. I can just go over here, add a node to the call it spots, and then just move all of these into it. And now what? Because now I have to figure out how many children spots has, but I don't know how to do that. I feel like get children. Wait, did I see get children count there? Get child count. What does this do? Returns the number of children of this node. Would you look at that? Let's see if this works. It does. And I did that by myself. No help from ChatGPT whatsoever. Well, except that I found out that you use size instead of length when you're trying to get the size of an array. But I didn't even end up using that anyways, so I'm gonna be done with the coding for tonight because I am tired and I have to do Bible study before I go to sleep. I'm quite satisfied. I'm very motivated to come back tomorrow. I am back for my daily dose of coding. I only have one more thing to do in this video, and that is randomizing the customers as they come in. All the other items on my to-do list are complete. First thing I'm going to do is bring in the customers into the script so I could actually use them. I'm thinking I need to put them in an array. When the customer is ready, I want to set the sprite. Let's see if that would work. It does. It does spawn random customers. I'm wondering now why the customers are so low. They're a little bit too high now, but that's okay. And also now my yellow customer is a bit lower than everybody else. She's just a short queen. Customers are finally complete. I do spawn my customers randomly. They walk in, they go to their spots. Soon they will be placing orders and my shop will feel like a real shop. Hopefully you come back again next week to see what I do with the game.